This episode of Card Battles takes us to the year 2001 and the dawn of programmable shaders as ATI makes a surprisingly strong showing up against NVIDIA's new game-changing architecture. It's the GeForce3 Ti500 versus the Radeon 8500. This is PixelPipes. For many years, ATI struggled to put out anything truly competitive. Since they entered the 3D accelerator market in the late 90s and up until 2000, their products have always been short on performance or features or simply too late to the fight. With the Radeon 8500 in August of 2001, that all changed. While the GeForce3 did manage to make it out with DirectX 8 support several months earlier, what ATI countered with is something that could have truly been described as a superior product in many ways, touting not only more features, but higher fill rates and thus theoretical performance. But NVIDIA wasn't going to take it lying down. They immediately countered with an overclocked GeForce3, the Ti500, in October of that year. And that was actually the very first instance of the Ti moniker, or titanium. ATI took many of the features introduced with the original Radeon and expounded on them, further developing and optimizing an already robust architecture. Among the enhancements was improved Z-depth culling to reduce overdraw, Z-buffer compression to reduce memory bandwidth use, quick clearing of the Z-buffer, and of course, programmable vertex and pixel shaders at the heart of its new DirectX 8 support. In fact, its support went further than NVIDIA's, supporting DirectX 8.1 and Pixel Shader 1.4 versus NVIDIA's 1.1 support, allowing for nearly twice the number of executed instructions across two phases. And like the GeForce 3 series, the Radeon 8500 also added support for multi-sampling anti-aliasing, but one thing the GeForce 3 didn't have was Hydra Vision, or support for multiple displays simultaneously. Even on models of the GeForce 3 with both VGA and DVI outputs, you had to choose one or the other, not both. This feature also extends to the mainstream Radeon 7500 that year, a big win for serious productivity users. Both the GeForce 3 Ti500 and the Radeon 8500 are equipped with 64MB of DDR memory and use a 4-pipeline dual texturing setup. The Ti500 runs at 240MHz core and 500MHz memory effectively. The 8500 beats it in clocks at 275MHz core and 550MHz memory. Back in the day, this didn't really matter as NVIDIA still thrashed the 8500 in most benchmarks. But as we'll soon see, ATI's card has had an interesting evolution in the years since. Now a word about testing. The goal at PixelPipes is to evaluate each card's true performance using CPUs that are much more powerful and drivers that are more mature than what was available at the time of launch, in the hopes of learning something new about them. We do not use error-appropriate systems for this reason. Please check the video description for test system details. So from those tests, we can see that the Radeon 8500 was actually a beast of a performer, and with newer drivers could actually outrun the GeForce 3 Ti500 in most benchmarks. Even Call of Duty, which of course uses the Quake 3 engine and OpenGL, something that was historically in favor of NVIDIA. The Ti500 does win in Unreal Tournament 2004 and Doom 3 by a decent margin, but overall this match definitely goes to ATI. This is exactly what Card Battles is all about. Back in 2001, reviews of these same two cards typically showed the opposite results, but what retro PC enthusiasts have noticed over the years after collecting and testing these cards is that in hindsight, with faster CPUs and newer drivers, the Radeon 8500 was truly the fastest card of 2001. An amazing feat for a company that had never had a win up to that point. The 8500 is a fantastic card, but admittedly you're going to have to get pretty lucky if you want to add one to your collection. Even a couple years back, when I was just starting to get serious about collecting graphics cards, they were almost non-existent on eBay. And the only way I came across mine was through a couple of poorly labeled card lots with an 8500 just kind of sitting in the pile with them. More often than not, you'll run across the 8500 LE or the renamed variant, the Radeon 9100. One tip though is that the Mac Edition 8500 will actually work in a PC, whether ATI intended it or not. So if you happen to run across one of those for a good price, go ahead and snatch it up. The Ti500 is also a rare card nowadays, even though just a couple of years ago I could find plenty of them under $50. Just be patient and check your saved searches daily, and you will eventually run across one for a reasonable price. That wraps up this episode of Card Battles. I hope you enjoyed it, and if so, then look forward to more episodes in this series as it continues, and as well as everything else graphics card history related on this channel. Thanks for watching. I'm Nathan, and this has been PixelPipes.